Hey everyone, Revan here, and welcome back to Feed the Beast University, where today we're finally getting into some magic. So sit back, enjoy the video, and let's see what we can't get done. Well, all right. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing awesome. A few little updates here before we get into the magic mod. Has this guy given me anything? He has. All right, so I have made this rat into a festive rat. It's just a rat upgrade that requires the Santa hats. And once every 20 minutes, he's gonna drop me something. And so far, I mean, it's nothing fantabulous. I don't even know if he actually has the ability to drop anything good, but I'm still on the quest for a rat token, a Ratlantean token, whatever it's called, a chunky cheese token. That might be it. But all I'm really getting are like small little fragments from the mob farm, and I've been AFKing there for a couple days now, and I think I've maybe only acquired 6 of the pieces to actually make the chunky cheese token, so it's gonna be a while longer. But I got all of these guys over here set up, and I did make a new machine. I made, where is it? Advanced smelter. There we go. So we've made this before. We put this over in our processing center, but now we have one made up so that when stuff and things and stuff come in to be required to be smelted, we can just set this up for recipes. But I did set up a little bit of a peer-to-peer tunnel, which I talked about very briefly at the end of last episode. And as you can see, I just have this long, dense cable running over here, and it is carrying 10, 11, 12, 13 channels on it. And I just have this hooked up to this P2P network. So I always want to say peer-to-peer, but I don't think that's what it stands for. I think it stands here as point-to-point. But so these guys are fairly simple. Essentially what it's doing, it's taking all 13 of these channels and condensing it into one. So as you can see right here, this says I'm only holding 1 of 8 channels. It says 2 here because I need power. These guys can be very, very helpful. I mean, for what we have right here, even if I were to fill this entire wall up, I don't think I'd reach the 32 machines. So, you know, I did it mostly just for me to kind of get reintroduced to it, but I'm going to show you real quickly just what it looks like and what exactly it can do and what benefits there are to actually having it. And when I say I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you the briefest of briefy tutorials, if you will, on it. So normally this is regular smart cable. It can handle up to 8 channels. Each one of these interfaces, when it's hooked up to an ME system, takes up 1 channel. So as you can see, we have 5 interfaces hooked up on this blue cable right here, and it is taking up 5 of 8 channels, right? However, once this hits this P2P, it is being turned into 1 channel, which is then being output on the outside of this P2P tunnel right here. So essentially, we're taking these 5 channels, compressing them into 1, and then unzipping them over on this side and putting it into the controller. Now you ask, okay, that's good. Well, why couldn't you just run this cable over to here? So the upside of P2Ps comes in when you start talking about moving things long distances. So that house over in the distance, if I get that set up and I want to have a large processing center over there, and let's say I have 32 channels instead, or more than 32 channels, instead of running multiple dense cables all the way underneath the ground, theoretically, I could go with just either 1 dense cable or 1 regular smart cable to cover the distance. And that would save me drastically on the amount of resources that I use. And the way that you do that is, as you remember, we have 5 machines hooked up here, and we have 5 machines here on this white network over here. So if I were to connect 5 plus 5 and try to run them on a cable that only holds 8 channels, you guessed it, it wouldn't actually work. So what we do is we'll just run this over here, and we'll toss another P2P channel on it. There we go. And then we take our memory card, and if you shift right click, it'll copy a function onto it, and then you can just right click on the other tunnel that you want to activate. So right now this is activated. It's set as output. and this one is set as input. So once we hook this up, there we go. All these 5 channels are now being turned into one channel. So as you can see on this section right here, because obviously these two have to join up, we're only holding 2 channels. Now there is kind of like a hidden channel that you do need to remember. So when you hook up a P2P network, it doesn't actually draw power from the P2P panel right here. So you need to utilize a side of one of your controllers to actually run as power to your P2P network. However, that does take up a channel. So as you can see, this point right here, we actually have 4 channels, because we have this channel, that channel over there, and that channel over there. So it's counting up as 4 separate channels. Yeah, but right here, it's just back to 1, and that one's back to 1. So actually, I'm not 100% sure why this is forked, but anyways, it is what it is. It's almost like it's duplicating this channel and this channel. So that is kind of like the short and sweet of the P2P, right? I now have 10 channels that I'm transporting over a 8-channel cable. That's what it's mainly going to be used for. There are lots of other options for this. You can change it into, they can emit light, they can emit energy and all that other fun stuff. But for us, we're really only probably going to be getting into them and utilizing them to actually set up connections throughout our base here. However, the main focus of today's episode is we are actually going to start getting into magic, and we're going to go for the magic mod that I've never messed around with before. I've never actually even heard of it. So that's kind of why I want to get into it. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know how I feel about this mod that shall not be named. But Mahou Tsukai, you know what? MT. We're just gonna call it MT. That sounds like a good name for a mod. We're gonna get into this guy, and in order to get into this, we're gonna need to make some of these catalysts here. So I did add a few things to the list. In order to make the catalyst, it's just essentially powdered diamond, powdered ender pearls, gold, iron, quartz. It's pretty simple, but we do need to make one of these mortal and pestles. So we're gonna need to grab this, and I don't know if this actually has any type of durability. So I'm hoping that this thing is gonna be unbreakable, just because of the fact that way, we can make a recipe for it. So let's grab us up some diamonds and see if this guy, all right, so it doesn't have a durability, so that is awesome. So if we grab a diamond, let's just grab up all these things so that we can make recipes in our system. There we go. We have all of the recipes set up, so we can just come on over here to our lovely mass assembler, and we can just toss these on, and we just filled up the first page. Finally onto the second page. That thing is going to take a minute to fill up. I say that, but honestly, those things, you'd be surprised. Like, once you have the capability to have almost unlimited patterns, the amount of patterns you end up making gets a bit ridiculous here. So we have powdered diamond. So let's make ourselves some emerald, and we'll just make a stack of each of these. All right. And then the next thing it wants us to do is to make these spell cloths. So it says certain spells can be used as scrolls, while some can be used as blood circles. Okay. To make a scroll, place down a spell cloth and draw a blood circle on it. Insert the spell components on it and then right click. Okay, so this is essentially what we're going to use to make our spells. And this stuff, we're going to need to make one of these daggers first. So we'll grab you, and let's actually grab up some string. And you know what? We'll just do this the easy way. All right, so we have our spell cloth. All right, we can toss that back in. And then there's no rewards for any of these guys so far. Then we need a caster's gauntlet. So the mystic code can hold 3 stacks of scrolls. Open its GUI to sneak and right click. Select a scroll by pressing the Y button by default and then right clicking to use that scroll. So this is essentially going to be like a backpack for our scrolls. And so this, we just going to need some gold and some cloths. There we go. That's interesting. So when it's on you, it kind of like changes your arm. So right clicking does that. Y, we have 3 stacks that we can put up in here. So this is essentially like our ammo. And then if we want to use it, I'm assuming we just would do that. I do like that animation though. It's a pretty cool animation. All right. And then the other thing we need to make was first sorcery. So it's going to be Fey Essence, Powdered Diamond. All right. So how do we get Fey Essence? Dropped by Fey after death. You monster. All right. So apparently we're not supposed to be killing the Fey. is what I'm going to guess here. So I guess we're gonna have to wait until we figure out what the Fey are to actually get those. Escape rope. Let's see. As a circle teleports any entity to highest point. Okay, but how do we make it? So I guess we need gold, ender, and ender. All right. So I'm guessing we just gotta put down this circle. And do we have to like draw blood on it or something? So if we hurt ourselves and then push M. Oh, that draws it on the floor. So how do we draw it here? Gold, ender, ender. Okay, so this is a teleportation sigil, I guess. Yeah, so if we step on it, it teleports us to the highest block above us. So interesting. All right, so I think I finally figured out how to place a blood circle on top of the spell cloth. So when you put the spell cloth down, you need to damage yourself, and then it usually push the M button, and it puts it on the block in front of where you're standing. So when I was sitting here looking at it, or I should say it's either standing or looking at, I think it's looking at, because when I was looking at this, it kept putting the circle up here. So if I do that, it'll put it there. If that made any logical sense. So stand on the block next to it, look at the same block you're standing, push M after you hurt yourself with the dagger, and that will draw yourself a circle of the word that we probably shouldn't say on YouTube because YouTube doesn't like words and stuff. All right, so Gate of Babylon. So the treasury projection gauntlets. Huh. Will summon portals that shoot weapons in your inventory or ender chest, and certain modded bags. Okay. These weapons will not actually be removed from your inventory, nor can they be picked up. You get it by using the Scroll of Treasury Projection Gauntlets. All right, so we have Treasury Projection. All right, so we need Powdered Eye, Diamond, and Cloth. Okay, so now we have that. And we can just shift right click and pick it up. And if we use this, we now have Crimson Black Keys of something. Black Keys of Proximity. So what does this do? Let's see if we can find a mob. Hello, mob. Ow. Oh, this like shoots me towards them. So like if I come up here and look at him. Oh, he's not close enough. There we go. That's kind of cool. So it kind of gets me up in there. And it doesn't look like it's using any magic. However, this does have a durability on it. And it didn't give me the gauntlet. So apparently I did the wrong one, but we still did something and stuff and things and stuff. So I can't complain too heavily about it. All right, so let's actually see if we can't figure out the gauntlet here. All right, so we did do it correctly. We just didn't do it correctly. So there is another powder that it didn't tell us about the first time around. So we're gonna have to make a couple more stuff and things and stuff. Because we also need Eye of Ender. All right, so we needed 1 of the powder eyes and we needed 2 of the diamonds. There we go. Oh, and we need our little Stabby McStabber skin over here. Actually, no, we already got this stat up. All right, this should be the scroll. Yeah. There we go. Projectile gauntlets. All right, let's see what this bad boy does. Whoa, you see that? Like it wasn't very fast, but if I hold it, does it like, oh, it does a bunch of them. It's not the most accurate thing in the world, but It does stuff. It doesn't take things out of your inventory, but I wonder if, because it's obviously using this sword right here. I wonder if that's actually using durability on my sword. That would be interesting. But that's kind of a neat little long distance projectile weapon. It's not the fastest thing in the world, and I can imagine that being extremely frustrating when you're trying to get stuff done. Let's set these guys down. So every time you draw a circle, you do need to re-injure yourself here. Okay, so swords and arrows. Get a bow of weapon projectiles. The bow of weapon projectiles will shoot weapons and tools in your inventory instead of arrows. Okay, so we need to get the scroll of weapon projectiles. And this guy, we're gonna need gold and diamond. All right, let's utilize this guy, and I don't want to aim it at my rat. So that actually did shoot my sword. Okay. So that's kind of cool, but I can see that being kind of one of those things like you're flying around and you're like, oh, look, there's something to shoot at. And then you forget that, you utilized your really good sword. I can see that not turning out too great. And none of these guys are really giving us any rewards. I don't feel very great about that. All right. Mystic Staff of Explosion. That sounds awesome. So sneak click to toggle between single large explosion, multiple small explosion, and beam modes. Oh, the large explosion drains 5,000 mana. Yeah, we don't have nearly enough of that. Small explosion, 600 mana, and the beam drains 500 mana per tick. So 3 modes you can cycle through. How do we get this? Scroll of explosive mana condensation. So that's just gold, and diamond. There we go. And this I kind of want to keep on us. Where did our... There it is. Okay. Sammy Jeebus. Oh, it's like, please don't blow anything up. All right, so we get the staff. There we go. All right, and next we need to get the Mystic Staff of Spatial Disorientation. All right, so this staff can be used on an entity and held, then aimed in the direction and released to fling it in that direction. It costs 200 mana. Wow. So I will say one thing, like this mod is kind of cool, but like as you see, like my mana is slowly going up. If I use 200 mana on something, I'm gonna have to AFK here for a very, very long time to get that mana back. So I'm really hoping somewhere later in the pack or something like that, or in this mod, it opens something up that we can generate mana quicker, because as of right now, like 1 mana every 5 seconds or something like that, that's not awesome. All right, so this guy is just going to be 2 gold and 1 ender. There we go. And then we'll just take it, and we have our Staff of Spatial Disorientation. Again, these things look, they look cool, and I can't wait to try it off, but like I would probably want at least like 4 of these guys fully filled up before I just went out and started messing about with stuff. All right, Dawnbreaker. So Caliburn is a magical sword that the undead fear, causing them to flee. Right-clicking will pull the undead and the caster towards each other. The Caliburn Get Caliburn using a blood circle of power consolidation, which creates a pool of murky water. Throw an enchanted sword into the pool while you have 5,000 mana. All right, and it will be converted into the Caliburn. So the Caliburn's damage depends upon the sword thrown in, as well as the enchantments. The more damage it would deal to the undead, blah, 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 the more damage Caliburn will do. So, let's see. What does this sword got on it? Sharpness, mending. So do we want to put smite on it? All right, so let's just grab up this smite 5 here, just so that we can get the sword as close to awesome as possible. And theoretically, I thought we had an anvil at one point in time. All right, so in order to get this pool, though, we need to do an emerald and 2 diamonds and what? No, why would you? Ah! Ah! Oh. I tried picking it up, but apparently it doesn't pick up. So, yeah, let's just toss that sword in there. So why is this sword not working, I wonder? Does it have to be... Does it have to be unused? There it is. So it has to be in like perfect condition. Oh boy, I still can't believe that did. I gotta, and this pool doesn't go away. So I gotta save up another 5,000 and do this. But let's see what this sword does. So this sword has a base damage of 19, and I can enchant this and then throw it back in as well. So let's see. What do we have? We have sharpness, power, withering, smashing, sharpness 5. So if I were to take this sword and sharpness 5, I could get sharpness 5 on Caliburn. Okay. And then I could probably put mending and whatnot on it, but let's see. It's got a base damage of 22 right now. Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna be right back. I have a little bit of filling in to do apparently, and then we're gonna continue on. All right, well, as we finish just kind of slowly revamping our floor here for no apparent reason. Nothing happened, nothing to worry about. You guys saw nothing. That was painful. I was not expecting that to actually create a pool inside of the base. That took a lot of dirt and cobblestone to cover all of that up, but we have it all covered up now, so nothing to worry about. I think we should be good to go as far as everything being fixed. Yeah, everything looks fine back here. Everything is fine back here, but wow. That's oof. That's about all I gotta say about that. All right, so does anybody remember where we actually were? Cause I don't. All right, we got 2 Smite 5 books. I don't think we can put Smite. Yeah, we can't put Smite and Sharpness on a sword here. But we can, once we actually get up to 5,000 mana again, which is going to take forever. We can go out somewhere really far in the distance and make that scroll and make that pool. And we can throw the sword back in, and I'm not sure what the max is going to be on this, but it looks like it jumps about 4 hit points. So we could theoretically make this sword like super OP. And then when we get to the final form, we can just toss mending or something like that on it. And it, it should be, quite formidable. Not that we really have much, but it'll definitely come in handy when we start doing things like the deep mob learning. All right, so the next thing on the list is our blood pack. So make a contract blood circle. So 2 players can place down contract blood circles near each other and stand on them to connect. Players connected by contracts will bypass certain effects from each other. All right. So we have that one, which I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do since we're playing in a solo world. So durability exchange. Durability exchange blood circle will slowly use up the durability of items thrown on it, or in the inventory the blood circle is placed on, converting it into mana. Oh. If you can afford it, this is massively powerful since it can generate up to 50 mana per second. Chest. Diamond. We'll just toss you on there. And then it just said I got to draw a blood circle on it, right? So it says, or in the inventory the blood circle is placed on. So that kind of makes it sound like the blood circle can be placed on a chest. However, yeah, I'm definitely not being able to place it on a chest. I can place it there, but I can't place it. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can place a blood circle on that. But in order to make this, we're gonna need one diamond and 2 emeralds. So there is something I kind of want to check out here. So let's grab 2 diamond and an emerald. And what do you... Oh my God, I did it again. And the worst thing is you can't pick this stuff up with sponges. Crap. Right, so we're gonna fix the basement later. But for now, just so I get this right, it's two emeralds and a diamond. Okay, so let's do this. Hit M. U. Toss U on there. And now what happens if we toss the durability on there? Doesn't really seem to do anything. What about a diamond chisel? So our mana is going up pretty quickly here. So it looks like it actually needs to be some sort of tool of some sort. Like you can't just throw obsidian blocks on there. But now we're doing like, geez, it's like 50. And it's barely used any. So that's really cool. We just got to remember that, you know, it needs to be the correct one. And does our mana top off at 228? Yes, it does. It also looks like every time we top off our mana, it increases our mana capacity by a couple. So that's kind of cool. But I'm just going to sit here and see how much mana I can actually collect from this diamond chisel. All right, so the diamond chisel just broke and we're back up to like 8,000 mana. So that's pretty dang cool. All right, so what is the next thing it wants us to do? The blood pact, contract blood circles. Let's see here. So this is an ender and an emerald. Let's just emerald, ender. All right, so this, yeah, really isn't going to do anything because I don't have anybody to do it with. So, but it's part of the quest. And then ley lines. So make a scroll of the mystic eyes of Feysight. Ley lines are paths that connect certain points throughout the world. Being near a ley line or ley point increases your mana regeneration. Ley lines also boost your elytra speed. The Fae are spirit-like creatures that spawn along these ley lines and are attracted to magic being cast. You can breed them with any powdered catalyst. Let's see here. You can only see ley lines and the Fae using the scroll of mystic eyes of Feysight, though they are still there when invisible. Each scroll adds 30 seconds of Feysight effect. You can use multiple to increase it. So we need to probably make a bunch of those scrolls. And then what was the other thing? I'm just adding these to the bar here. Summoning familiar, so we can get a pet. And familiar related scrolls. Recall, that would probably be a good one to have. All right. Well, I'm going to go through the pain that is redoing our basement because it's driving me crazy. Oh my God, did it twice in the same episode. But I'm going to do this and I should really just go fishing. And then I'll bring you guys back. Okay. We are back. Well, repaired everything again. Still feel like something is off, but it is what it is. So I repaired everything and I prepped some scrolls so we can get like the Feysight here. And Feysight is just powdered eye, so it should just be 3 per scroll. Just as long as it doesn't form a pool underneath, I think we should be happy. But in the process, I did come across this block right here, which I ended up getting from one of the quest lines. I believe it's Misker right here. You trade in 10 XP levels and you get a loot crate, and I got this from that, and it's like a server thing, so check it out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I needed something to cheer me up after those pools, so I apologize for that. All right, and then familiar, I think, is just 3 eyes of Ender, or 3 quartz, I mean. And then the recall is 2 quartz in an eye of Ender. So that kind of makes sense, right? The eye of Ender, or not the Ender, but the Ender Pearl thing is going to teleport it back to you. So let's grab these guys. And then we can pick up all of these Fae scrolls here. Because we do need to merc a couple Faes because of the fact that, what was it that we needed here? Magic. Make you regret ever doing it. The Mystic Code. I needed 2 Fae Essence here. Alright, what's Fairy Dice? So, to get some Fae Essence is dropped by Fae and can be used on the ground to place a Fae Circle. Fae Circles, which can also be made into scrolls, work just like blood circles, but are ownerless. Oh, so you can make these for other people. It is only bound to the person who most recently used it. As Fae Circle scrolls are not bound to their creator, their creation can be automated. Huh. And what's the last thing? A mana circuit? Okay, well, we can get into that after we find the Fae. Because we need to find some Fae. We need to ask them very politely for some essence and everything like that. So let's turn this off and let's use one of these. All right, so, oh wow, we are actually like right on a ley line here. So I think that means that my mana is supposed to regenerate faster here. So what do the Fae look like? Do they only come out at night, or? I wonder. So what happens if we follow this guy? Oh, wait. I'm starting to have my concerns as to whether or not I'm going to be able to finish this back with the leg spikes that I'm getting here. All right, so this is another intersection of ley lines, I guess. But I still haven't seen any Fae spirits. So let's check out these familiar ones while we wait for night. Summon a familiar. All right. Actually, can we put this in our mystic? All right. Summon and recall. There we go. So if we go like this and say summon. Ah. Okay. And this apparently does stuff and things and reports to me. And also chunk loads this area. Okay. So if we want to recall. All right. I said, come back. All right. So it doesn't want to come back. Okay, fine. You stay there then. We have a familiar now. But yeah, we need to, it looks like wait until it gets dark because we do need the Fae Essence to, I guess, make a circle. And then we also need the Fae Essence to create this mystic code. And the mana circuits, let's see. These are blocks that store mana, allowing it to be used by their owner if they're nearby. Ownership is dictated by whoever right-clicks the circuit first after it's placed. Mana has to be manually given to the circuit by right-clicking it, storing it with your own mana. They only work when powered on, which is done by sneak right-clicking it. Okay. And we need a whole bunch of Fae Essence for that. So yeah, we need to wait for nighttime, I'm guessing, and go on a Fae hunt. All right, well, I'm a derp. I finally did get a Fae to appear. However, it was just one. I think I'm also about to run out of these. Yeah, I only got 8 scrolls left. So I'm going to try to make a few more chisels here. They just look like a ball of light. It's just like a whitish ball of light that kind of like flies around you. But I only had one, so I was able to hit it with the powdered iron. And it did give it the hearts, but obviously there was only one there. So let's just, I guess, go like this, because apparently they're attracted to you doing magic. So I'm kind of just filling up my secondary attuned diamond here and seeing if I can't draw any of them in. Plus it's upping my magic. Let's see, there's one right there. We just need another one. So where are you? Come here. So it's got hearts. So if we actually get another one to show up, we can try to breed a bunch of them, because we do need a bunch more of this stuff. Yep, still just one. Oh, wait, we got another one. All right, make Fae babies. Nice. So this is essentially how we're going to get it. And they seem to drop 2 apiece. So I think we really only need like one more Fae to show up here. So I'm going to kind of keep at this and see if we can't get them to get a few more of them. All right, guys, we are back. And oh, that took a long time. It's next day. It's the next day. I got tired of doing this, but so what I did was I put down 2 of these guys just to kind of increase my mana. I ended up filling up 4 of these attuned diamonds. I could have done a lot more. I got bored, but I found that as long as I had this circle on the ground and threw a chisel on it, it seemed to attract them. I also tried going off in the distances and making other circles, because if you follow the ley lines far enough, they actually end up joining up with like smaller circles. Let me show you. So like you see how this one has 3 exterior rings. I found ones that only have like 1 or 2 exterior rings. And I tried performing there thinking like, hey, these guys aren't coming by my house. Maybe I scared them away, but I never got any over there. And eventually they did start coming back to the house. I wasn't able to breed any. I couldn't quite figure that out. I almost feel like you need to make a box and somehow lure them into the box, like a complete sealed cube, and yeah, breed them up in there. But yeah, so what we did end up doing is I completed the mod, right? So I made the mana circuit and I made the mystical codex, which the mystical codex, all we needed was the 2 Fae essence, and the mana circuit we needed 8 of the Fae essence. We ended up getting like 13 or 14 Fae essence in total. Not all of them drop. Like it's either they either drop 2 or they get nothing. I'm sure maybe if I had looting on the sword, that might have helped. But yeah, so I ended up having to take out quite a few of them. But we do have this. If we shift click, I think it was shift click, that is turned on, and I can insert mana into this, and as long as I'm near it, it'll store. The only problem is you need to manually input this, so there doesn't seem to be any way to automate mana. The closest thing we have is those durability exchange circles where, you know, I could throw like a chisel or something on. I haven't tried like a diamond hammer that theoretically has 6 diamonds in it, so it might have more durability, but I don't know. And I also haven't tried like Unbreaking 3, but I mean, you just be sitting there forever if that actually worked. So this is good. I got my mana up to 620, so we're cool with that. And we have this Weeaboo, which I guess we'll just put that there for now. We got this on November 27th, 2020. That's kind of weird. That's gonna, anybody who's watching this video like a year and a half from now will know exactly when I recorded this. Anyways, yeah, that is the mod, the MT mod, the mod that we shall not name because we cannot pronounce it correctly because we're gonna butcher it. But now that we actually have this guy right here, what did it say again for this? So big explosion, 3 modes. So sneak right click will change the modes. I say we go play with this. I think this is far enough away from the home. I highly doubt we'll come over here. I did want a decent size mountain to try this on just because I kind of want to see what the blast radius is. So if we sneak right click, AoE, beam mode, and big explosion. So let's see what big explosion does. Turn the sky gray. Kind of rained a little bit. Anything? Didn't take any of our mana. Oh, we got to do, oh wait, what is going on here? So it's gonna go like straight there, I guess. Oh, holy cow. Yeah, I say that's a big explosion. Wow. I wish it didn't hurt me, but... All right, so what else we got? We have AoE mode. I don't really know what this does. Is it doing anything? Oh, look at that. So we have a bunch of circles in the sky. Oh. All right, and beam mode. So this creates like a beam in front of us. Oh, wow, look at that. And we drained all of our tunes. Man. Wow. Okay, so what do you guys think? Good for decorating? Wow. But yeah, we're going to call it an episode there, guys. We finally made it through the MT mod and our first magic mod. A little bit later on, we'll start looking into Thaumcraft and Botania. I do want to get a few other things set up before that happens, but yeah, we'll get into it. Don't worry about it. But as always, hey, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is the part where I normally jump. There we go. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, stay safe, be awesome, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.